I'm so excited to see everyone here because you've joined this really special community. We're going to have a fabulous speaker. We'll learn more about her and also some of the people who are involved to make sure that this event is put together and as best as we can make it. So stay tuned. But first, for those of you who are watching on live stream or here in our studio, please go to boostbized.com/I am here so that we know that you are here. Okay? So I'm going to give everyone a couple minutes to do that. And while you are signing in, let's go ahead and learn about today's event and our special presentation.
Are you looking for a business networking event where you can learn more, connect better, and have your business be seen and heard by many? Are you ready to learn how you can take action today in order to improve your business? If so, then join the next Boost Biz Ed San Diego event, which takes place at 11:30 a.m. on the third Thursday of each month at Spaces in La Jolla, UTC. Our event on May 17th features Susan Duprat of Everyday Miracles. Susan will be presenting on how to create everyday miracles in your business. And you, as our guest, will have the opportunity to define, design, and experience the vision of your dream business. Plus, receive the blueprint for how to turn this possibility into reality. Get ready to learn and get ready for your business to be seen via our live stream that takes place during the event. Tickets are available at boostbized.com or by visiting the events page at consciousbusinesschamber.com.
Too excited, he's ready.
Welcome back to Boost Biz Ed San Diego. My name is Joanne Chen. I'm the MC for today's event. I'm so thrilled to see all of you here, and also a shout out to the folks online watching, okay? So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to acknowledge a couple of allies that we have for today's event, because without them, this event would not be possible. And first, I'd like to thank our ally Spaces, which is this beautiful co-working space that we're in today. Spaces in La Jolla, right next to UTC, the shopping mall. So you can come work very hard for the day, but after work, you can go have a really nice dinner at the mall. Okay? So, and I want to thank our allies here, Erica Macabogo and CJ Senesgali, for being our contacts for this beautiful space. And next, I want to acknowledge and thank our presenter today, Susan Duprat of Everyday Miracles. Woo! I have to say, she is a special lady. I was at another event with the Chamber of Commerce 2 weeks ago, and she spoke for 9 riveting minutes. Today, we're going to get her for quadruple the time. So that means we're going to get more time with her awesome energy and her wisdom. So I really look forward to your talk today, Susan. And okay, and also Sarah Ann Dordal. She is not here, but she is a coordinator of this event. She is watching us on live stream. So let's go ahead and say hi to Sarah. Hi, Sarah. She is actually the founder of the Conscious Business Chamber of Commerce, and she's also responsible for forming this very valuable partnership with Boost Biz Ed San Diego, and also the headquarters. Okay, so thank you, Sarah. We're thinking of you, and we know that your spirit is with us today. And next, we have Cornelius Simon behind the video camera. He is a pro in live streaming, video production, and we will hear more from him regarding what he does and his delicious offer for us today. Okay? And now, we have a couple of messages from our allies, Spaces and our live streaming video pro.
Boost Biz Ed and the Conscious Business Chamber of Commerce would like to thank our hosting venue, Spaces, located in beautiful UTC La Jolla. Spaces is San Diego's innovation hub where you can connect with like-minded entrepreneurs in an energized and exclusive environment designed to accelerate your business. Whether you're mind mapping, meeting, collaborating, or crunching numbers, Spaces provides the perfect place for every business need, including designer desks, tables, sofas, super fast Wi-Fi, informal meeting areas, and even cozy coffee corners. Learn more by calling Spaces at 858-535-4800 or visit spacesworks.com. Live Streaming Video Pro would like to invite you to take advantage of its Speakers Reel promotional package. This is everything you need to produce a high-quality speakers reel for your business and marketing needs. The package includes up to 30 minutes of recording, a 2-angle shoot, 5 audience testimonials, 2 speaker reel concepts, and a finished 3-minute professional speakers reel. This is valued at $797, but if you mention this ad, you will receive an additional $200 off. That's the entire video footage captured from both cameras, audience testimonials, and a high-quality professional 3-minute speakers reel for only $597. You can book your session today by calling 619-535-6145 or visit livestreamingvideopro.com.
Hello and welcome back again, everybody. I would love to talk to you more about Biz Ed San Diego. So what is Biz Ed? This organization has been in place for about 8 years, and we're all about actionable business information as opposed to veiled sales pitch, because what we know is that by connecting us all with top experts, we can all improve our businesses one action at a time. And we believe that we earn your trust through giving value first, as opposed to try to sell you. So we believe in forming valuable connections, forming community. And we currently have 5 different sites in 3 states, and more sites are coming. Okay, so stay tuned. And Boost Biz Ed was founded by Drew Shockley for business leaders who want to use speaking as a way to perform, to promote their businesses. And to show the value of being a speaker with Boost Biz Ed, let me ask you a couple of questions. Okay, the first question is, would you rather A, chase cold leads, or B, attract warm leads? Okay, B, everyone unanimously picked B, attract warm leads. Great. Question number 2, would you rather A, figure out the when, where, and how of your own events, or B, use a proven system for delivering consistent hands-free value? A or B? 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 Okay, the answer is unanimous. Again, everyone gets 100% on your quiz. Congratulations. Okay, yes, so Boost Biz Ed was formed to help fill your pipelines with nurtured leads. And to find out more information about it, you can reach out to boostbized.com/li. Okay? And I just want to direct everyone's attention to the action forms in front of you. I know that our speakers today has some handouts that she's going to be giving out as well. But with the action forms, you can use it to identify your action item during her presentation. And then afterwards, if we have time, we will ask people if you want to share your action item. Okay? And the last thing is, how do you find and promote Boost Biz Ed? So you can go to, so let me go ahead and scroll down. You can, of course, watch us live via Facebook Live, facebook.com/boostbized. You'll find us on meetup.com/boostbized, Twitter @boostdenver, or #boostden, DEN. So we're definitely all over social media. We have a handle, and we look forward to connecting with you. Okay? So I'd like to invite a couple of guests from today's event, if you want, to come up and introduce yourselves and tell us who you are, what value you bring, and why you're investing your time with us today. Okay? So, any volunteers? All right. Woo! Our first brave soul. Okay, here you go.
Thank you. Aloha, everyone. My name's Franco. I have a couple of businesses that I've been blessed to have taken part of. Currently, I'm doing a startup in which we offer services for credit repair and credit seasoning for individuals, because throughout all of my experience, I've definitely learned the value of credit in our society today. I'm here today just because I stumbled upon, I've taken part in this great opportunity spaces, and I'm taking full advantages, and I'm always a student. I want to see what insights I could learn.
Great. Thank you. Okay. Any other volunteers? Our second brave soul.
Hi, I'm Maria Hathor, and I am with a network marketing business. It's a newer company. We're just under a year old. I'm an independent founding stylist and senior director for Color Street. So we have amazing nail polish. It's 100% nail polish, and it applies dry, and you can just go on about your day when you're done with your nails. But anyways, I'm here today really vision. I lose sight of what the big picture is, and so I knew today would be good for me to help me focus on what my vision is for me and my team. So here we go.
Thank you so much. Any other volunteers? Going once? Going twice? Okay. Well, thank you so much for the two of you who stood up today and spoke from your heart. You just did a public speaking speech, and you did a great job. Okay? So before we go on to our key presentation for today, let's learn more about how you can apply to be a Biz Ed expert.
Are you interested in being a featured expert presenter at Biz Ed San Diego? You can qualify today by joining the Speaker and Event Leader membership of the Conscious Business Chamber of Commerce. Speaker and event leaders for the Conscious Business Chamber pay only $35 a month and receive VIP member benefits, including premier access to opportunities for speaking engagements and podcast interviews, exclusive privileges to promote live events, webinars, and special offers, enhanced member profiles for optimal exposure, and immediate visibility as a leader of our thriving community of 2,000 plus members just in San Diego alone. There are many more benefits to come, and you can join today by visiting consciousbusinesschamber.com and choose membership option, speaker, and event leader.
Welcome back to Boost Biz Ed San Diego with your MC, Joanne Chen. Now, I'm excited to introduce to you our gifted speaker for today. Her name is Susan Duprat of Everyday Miracles, and her talk is called Creating Everyday Miracles in Your Business. For over 10 years, Susan has worked with organizations and individuals, helping them build their dreams, accelerate their results, and create richer and more fulfilling lives. She is the creator of the Miracle Is You program. As a sought-after speaker and trainer, Susan has offered transformational workshops to organizations around the country. With rousing applause, please help me welcome Susan Duprat of Everyday Miracles.
Hi, Joanne. Because I'm much more of a hugger than I am a handshaker. Hi, everybody. I'm Susan Duprat, and I'm so glad to be here with you today. To all of you on Facebook Live, thanks for tuning in. And to all of you in my audience, I hope you are ready to get down and get into it today. As a transformational coach, I teach a lot of people about the idea of how to create a vision and how creating that vision creates everyday miracles in your business. I work with my husband in my business. We formed this business about 10 years ago together when we got married. That was when we got married, we formed the business right off the bat. And so we've been working with these principles for quite a while. And I want to take you back to a time before I created those miracles in my life, and to show you a little bit about how life takes us on a journey that allows us to transform our lives. And a lot of times when we transform our lives, of course it applies to our business, because as entrepreneurs, you guys know that if your life in general is in a mess, you're not really very focused on your business. And so what I want to do today is teach you a formula. It's a hidden code that's going to help you in every step. You can use it for your business, you can use it for your health, you can use it for your relationships, and you can get really clear on where you're going so that you can create whatever you want to create. And I call that an everyday miracle. So about 20 years ago, I went in a very short amount of time from being a stay-at-home mom of 4 kids to being a single mom. And at that time in my life, my ex-husband kind of decided to go a different path than I did, and we went off in different directions, and I was left taking care of and supporting my 4 children. Now, at that time in my life, that was not one of my goals, right? That was not my dream. My dream had kind of exploded on me to be a married mom, taking care of my kids, staying home, going to their school activities, and it was a very, very painful time. But I jumped really quickly into the workforce. I began to work as hard as I could in business. I became a restaurant manager. I supplemented my income with 2 other jobs because, as you know, supporting 4 kids is not inexpensive. So I dug in, right? I started working as hard as I could because that was what I knew. I knew that if you wanted to create something, you had to work for it. So that's what I did. So I got out there, I started working, and in the background, however, there was running this thing in me that I was very discontented. I was very sad. I felt very stuck. I was living in, not San Diego, I was living in South Dakota. I had moved there for my ex-husband, and we had a nice little life there until everything exploded, right? So I'm living in this state, my family is not there. I've lost a lot of my friendships through the circumstances of now going to work full time. And I felt really stuck there. I wasn't hardly making ends meet. I wasn't sure how I could move myself out of that place and get back to California where I wanted to move to. So I felt trapped in my own life, right? Have any of you ever felt that way? I know you have, right? And we get in these places and we're like, the circumstances feel overwhelming. And everything that we've tried to do, I was working really hard, everything I was trying to do didn't seem to be changing those circumstances. And what I have noticed in life is that a lot of times when you feel that way, it's a signal. And we're going to talk a little bit about that signal later. When you feel really discontented, when you really feel stuck, that's kind of a message from your soul to do something. Well, I wasn't really listening to the message. I was a little busy. So I wasn't really listening to the message. I was just staying in my stuck place. And one night, as it does in South Dakota, we were having a blizzard, a very large blizzard, actually. And we were, it was about 40 below wind chill factor, and the snow was coming down like crazy. And I got off work at 1 in the morning. Now, I didn't have to drive very far to get home, but I did have to drive down a 2-lane country road. And down that road, I'm going slow. I'm thinking how much I hate this is actually what I'm thinking. I hate the snow. I hate my life. I feel stuck. And I'm driving down the road, and all of a sudden the universe gave me a big wake-up call because I ran right smack into a snowdrift. I did not run off the road into the snowdrift. The snowdrift was across the road, and I ran right into it like a huge roadblock, like a huge stop sign, right, from the universe. Stop. I sat there in the snow for a little while. And just so you know, there are things you should be doing in South Dakota in the winter to make sure that if this happens to you, that you're not up a creek without a paddle. And so I'm sitting there in the car, and I think to myself, I don't have very much gas, so I can't run the heater all night in my car. I don't have a very thick jacket because I just ran into work in my little thin jacket. I don't have any blankets. I don't have any water. I'm basically a poster child for what not to do in South Dakota winter. And I'm sitting there in my car, and I'm like, wow, now I'm really stuck. I'm not just emotionally stuck. I am physically stuck in a snowstorm. It's like a whiteout around me out there. I get out and look. I get out of my car really quick, look. See if there's any chance of moving it, see if I can back up, if there's anywhere to go, and there wasn't. It was absolutely No other option. Car was stuck. I got back in my car and I really thought about it. I thought, what is going on here? And what do I do? And for the first time it occurred to me that this was all up to me. That I could create whatever I wanted from this circumstance. I could sit in the car that night, take a chance on dying. I could get out of the car, take a chance on dying in the blizzard. But whatever it was up to me. And I had to make a decision what I was going to do, and I had to get unstuck. So for me, the decision was get out of the car and go find the closest farmhouse and knock on their door. So I did that. It was about a quarter-mile run down the road in 40 below wind chill factor, and I had frostbite on my ears when I got there and on my toes because all I had was mittens. And I pounded on the door until they opened it because the wind was blowing so hard they could hardly hear me. And remember, it was 1 a.m. in farming country, so they were all asleep. But they were very kind. They did let me know when I got inside that the phones were all out. There was nobody, we couldn't call anybody, and that I was just going to sleep on their couch that night. And so that's what I did, and I slept on their couch. But as you know, if you've been in a circumstance like that, I couldn't go to sleep, right? I had all this adrenaline running through my body. Plus now, I had changed something. By making that decision to get out of the car, I actually made a decision to change my life, right? I made a decision to say, I'm going to create some change. I'm going to take a chance. I'm going to take a risk and move instead of just sitting still and being stuck. So that's what I did. And as I sat there that night, I thought, okay, if I'm not going to be stuck, what would I do? And here's a really important point, guys. It's really important to get curious with yourself and start asking yourself questions, because that generates a place of not being stuck anymore. Emotionally and in your brain, it helps you to change. When we sit there thinking about, I'm so stuck, this is so hard, I don't know how I'm going to get business, we're going in a cycle. When we get curious with ourselves, what we do is we break that cycle and we begin to create the change in our brain already. So I started asking myself, well, what would I like? What would I like to do instead? I do not want to be here anymore, so what do I want to do? And I kind of came up with my very first vision that night. Came up with a dream, a new dream, and I came up with an idea to move to San Diego. My parents lived in LA, so they were close by. I had a lot of friends that lived around this area, and I thought, I'm going to move to San Diego. Now at that point, that night, it seemed impossible, but I thought, I'm doing it. I'm doing this thing. And in the meantime, I'm going to start figuring out, keep asking questions and start figuring out how. Now, I was what you would call an unconscious competent at this thing, right? I started creating a miracle, but I didn't know why I was doing it or how I was doing it. And after I got to San Diego in about a year, because all of that did begin a whole process for me, which created a miracle in that somebody actually paid me to move to San Diego. They paid for my first 3 months of housing, and I got out of the situation I was in. Once I got here, I got really curious about how did I do that and how can I keep doing it. And I began to study transformation, and I began to study the science of change. Now, the word transformation gets passed around a lot in our teachings today, right? You hear that a lot of times. But the word transformation actually means means change, form. Transform means to actually change the form of your life, right? So if that's what you want to do with your business, then let's tune into how do we create some change, okay? One of the things I discovered as I was working through this process, as I was looking at all the different teachings that were out there, is trying to learn how to create some really good change in my life. One of the things I learned is this has been written about for years and years. And maybe you've seen books about it, maybe you've read The Science of Getting Rich, or maybe you've read Think and Grow Rich. But it even goes further back than that. And there was a book that I found that helped me kind of dissect some of this. And to dig in a little deeper, we're going to talk about a code that was written by Henry David Thoreau. Now, this is a really famous quote. I'm going to read it to you because that way I'll get it right. I have learned this, at least by my experiment, that if one advances confidently in the direction of their dream, endeavors to live the life they're imagining, one passes an invisible boundary, and all sorts of things begin to occur that never otherwise would have occurred, and one begins to meet with a success unexpected in common hours. Now, Henry David Thoreau wrote this in 1894. Anybody ever seen that quote before, by the way? It's kind of on lunch boxes, cards, magnets, all those kind of things. And it is very common because people think about the idea of moving towards their dream, right? It's all about getting to your dream. However, since Henry wrote this in 1894, the language can be a little bit confusing, right? We're not exactly sure what he's saying here. So what I'm going to do today is break this down for you and show you the code that's contained within it so that you can do this. Now, I've created a way that I do it that I call growing miracles, and we're going to go into that. But first, let's talk about the order of this. So they wrote these words all kind of mixed up back then, right? So we're going to take this and we're going to notice, first of all, that it says if one advances confidently. What does that mean? If means you got to decide to do it, right? Like I made that decision that night in the car to step out of the car instead of sitting in the car and waiting for my destiny, wondering if I was going to freeze to death, wondering if another car was going to smack into the back of mine because they couldn't see me either. Instead of that, I made a choice. I made a decision. And I made a decision to advance confidently, right? But what you notice about this sentence, if you really think about it, is you can't advance confidently in the direction of a dream if you don't already have a direction, right? So we're going to talk a little bit here about this part first, direction of their dream, before we get to advancing confidently on it. Does that make sense? Okay, so we're going to talk about the first part of this. So direction of your dream. So a dream, or a vision, as I like to call it, is a really, really important first step. You can't advance confidently if you don't know where you're going. Right? If you're planning a destination or you're planning a journey in your business, you're planning a new level of success, you have to be able to create the direction first. You have to be able to map it out and decide how you're going to get there. So the direction of your dream is really, really important. So I'm going to give these to Joanne to hand out. And these are kind of a little worksheet that's going to help you go over this after you get back home. It's going to help you to make a decision on writing some things out. It's got some spaces for you to do it. We're probably not going to walk through that very much today, but it's going to give you something that you can look at after the fact. So the very first thing you want to know when you're planning a journey is, first of all, where you're going, when you want to get there, right? You can't book a plane reservation unless you know when you want to go. And number 3, it's not how I'm going to get there, it's why I'm going to get there when you're planning a vision, right? So you need to know where I'm going, when I'm going to go, and why do I want to go there. Those are the 3 most important items when planning the direction of your dream. So if you want to write those down, that would be great. And go ahead and think about for yourself, with your business, where am I going, right? So where am I going in my business? When do I want to accomplish this success? And why do I want it? That's really, really important to determining the direction of your dream. The second thing that you need to know if you're planning a journey is where are you starting? And you'll notice in this worksheet, the first thing that we have, and for those of you online, we can make this available to you guys on Facebook on a handout on the Facebook Live so that you can get it. And I can also send it to you in email. So remember that you got to know where you are starting right now. So know where you are to know where you're going, right? You got to know where you are to know where you're going to go. Just like when you type in your GPS where you're going, the GPS asks you where are you right now. Basically it says, can I look up your location? Is that okay? So the same thing is true in your life. You have to decide first where you are. So the second thing to know about the direction of your dream and figuring out the direction of your dream is that you need to understand what it is you want to, when you're looking at where am I going. The very easiest way to get there is to look at your longing and your discontent. These are those signals from your soul that I told you about, that your soul is saying, look, if you're discontent about something, there's a clue here, right? So when we look at our discontent is not a bad thing. Our discontent is actually a really good thing because it helps us to understand who we are inside. So if you're feeling discontent, what you need to do is pay attention to that discontent, listen to the discontent. I urge you to write it down. This is what I'm discontented about. Because then you start to be able to bring it into clarity of if I'm discontented about this, what am I longing for, right? I'm discontented about not making enough money in my business. I'm discontented about not meeting enough people in my business. I'm discontented that my love life is not where I really want it to be. I don't have a significant other or a partner. It's really important to notice what you're discontented about. And I'm longing for lots of committed clients that I can take care of. I'm longing for passionate people who want to work with me in business. I'm longing for a team of people. So you really want to turn put those two things together. I'm discontent about this, and I'm really longing for the opposite of that. So when you're thinking about those things, it kind of stirs up in you a passion, right? It begins to stir up your passion. It begins to give you the first clues to your why. Why am I doing this? So when you go on a journey, first of all, you got to know where you're going. Second of all, you got to know when you're going to get there. And the third thing is you have to know, why am I going? And as entrepreneurs and business owners, we all need to think about the why of our business. Why do we do what we do? Why am I committed towards working towards this vision? I'm not gonna put all the energy into it that it deserves unless I know why I'm doing it. So that's a big step in determining your vision. And in my program, The Power of Vision, we actually work on that section before we go anywhere else in the program, right? So we make sure that we get into the why of where we're going. So we're going to advance in the direction of our dream. I would encourage you all, there's a section in there for writing down a vision in your workbook. And I would encourage those of you at home to think about these areas of your life. Your career, of course, is really, really important. It's a big category in your life that you really want to define where you're going. But you also want to define, where do I want to be with my health? You know, we all have different things going on in our bodies, and maybe you're very, very healthy right now, but do you want to stay healthy? And you want to make sure that you're maintaining that beautiful body of yours for another 1 year, 2 years, 80 years. So you want to put that in your vision. This is how I feel in my body. This is how I interact with my body. This is how I take care of my body. Really important component to put that out there on where you're going. Second thing is, where am I going in my relationships? We all know that our relationships play a major factor in our business. If we're not content in our lives, a lot of times we don't have the energy to go out there and take care of our clients. We don't have the energy to create new business because there's things going on that are sapping my strength and sapping my energy. And what kind of relationships do you want with your business community? What kind of business relationships do you want with your clients or or any of your other colleagues that you work with in your business? A lot of people are building teams today and working in direct sales, and it's really important to understand that those relationships you need to have a vision for. You need to have an idea of how I want those relationships to look. So when we think about our vision, we're going to think about 4 quadrants. So we're going to think about our career, we're going to think about our relationships, we're going to think about our health, and the last one I really, really love is what I like to call time and money freedom. So not financial flow, but what would I do if I had all the financial flow I wanted, right? What would I do with my time? What would I do with my money if all that stuff I wrote in my career worked out completely? And so think about, what would that look like for me? Would it look like I saw an amazing car in the parking lot when I was coming in. It's a BMW convertible, just this amazing thing. And maybe you would say to yourself, what I would love is a beautiful new car if my time and money freedom allowed that. Maybe you would say, I would love a trip to Greece and go lay on the beach for a month. Each one of us has a idea inside of us of what we would love if all the money issue was worked out, right? And some of you would say, well, I would just love more time at home in my garden, right? So we all have different passions that we would love to create. And you want to wrap that all into your vision. You want to be able to tune into the fact that you're a whole person and that you're creating this whole life anyway. So you want to make sure that you cover in your vision all the areas. So that's the dream that Thoreau is talking about. And when we write a clear vision, we're writing where we want to go in the direction of our dream. We're writing out the direction, right? We're saying, this is where I want to go. So the next piece that he talks about here, he says, one passes an invisible boundary. Now this is a really important piece. And a lot of times people don't realize they're going to hit this boundary. Now, have you ever been working away on something and you think to yourself, my business is taking off, I know this is going to be good, and then something happens and it all falls apart? That ever happened to anybody in here? Yeah, it happens, right? And that's when you hit what Thoreau calls the invisible boundary. And the invisible boundary stops your vision cold, right? It stops you from advancing towards it. It stops you from, unless you have your why really strong, it stops you from taking any more action. And a lot of dreams die right there at the invisible boundary. That's why many people do not have that success, unexpected income and hours, because they hit the invisible boundary and they don't cross it. They don't pass the invisible boundary. They stay stuck there. So my question to you is, what do you think the invisible boundary is? Anybody want to hazard a guess what the invisible boundary is? This is a really big one. Okay. Yes?
Fear.
Fear. Fear is part of the invisible boundary. The invisible boundary is all our thoughts, our feelings, our limiting beliefs that we have about ourselves. And that invisible boundary, that fear, that doubt, that anxiety is what stops you from moving forward in your business. Once you can identify your boundaries, and there's a section in the workbook for you, but once you can identify, and those of you at home, write this down right now. What's the biggest thing I'm afraid of? Right? Am I afraid of failure? Am I afraid of more clients? Am I afraid of succeeding? But really am I afraid of looking silly? So we need to think about what are the invisible boundaries that are holding me back, and why is that? The reason we need to identify the boundary is so it's no longer invisible. It's no longer just going to keep boggling our minds and we can't get across it. Once it's visible, you can do something with it, right? You can walk across it because now you know, hey, that's just fear. That's just a thought trying to hold me back. But thoughts can be really strong, right? Thoughts are one of the major things that we work with in our lives that we need to overcome if we want to create some real miracles, or, as Thoreau says, success that's unexpected in common hours. So, write down right now, wherever you are, whether you're here or at home, write down what your fears are about creating more success in your business. And just take a second to do that, because the more that you will write these things down, you're actually going to create some change that happens in your brain. When you think about something, it's happening on one side of your brain. When you write it down, it's actually happening on another side of your brain, and that puts coherence together so you can actually now create some new pathways in your brain. So that's an important thing to know. So we've talked about our invisible boundary, and now we're going to talk about the next step. If you think about the two words, advances confidently. So if you're going to take action on something, people talk about taking action a lot. How confidently are you walking towards something? You're walking towards your dream, you're walking towards your vision, you've stepped across the boundary of fear, but how confidently are you walking towards it? Are you really truly believing that you can accomplish it? So I like to think of this a lot of times like the power of electricity, right? So if you walk towards, there's a light switch right over there. If you walk towards that light switch and you flipped it on, would you feel confident that the light was going to come on? Right? You would not walk over there hesitating. You would not walk over there going, I'm not sure the light will come on, right? You would be like, okay, the light's going to come on. That's advancing confidently. So when you think about writing a vision, you think about the fact that you put it down on paper, this is where I want to go, this is when I want to get there, and this is why I want to get there. Then you also want to add this element of belief in yourself. You want to own it. You want to say, I can do this. You want to reframe in your mind those old limiting beliefs that were trying to stop you and really walk towards it confidently. You know, have you ever met a successful person who didn't know where they were going? Anybody? A really successful person always walks in the room like, I'm going there, I'm getting there. And they get it done primarily because they believe they're going to do it. And their why holds them up at the times when they have lack of belief. Their why helps them to take steps even when it is scary and you're going across that new boundary. So we want to make sure that we understand that we can reframe our thoughts. We can create new pathways. So right now, just take a minute and write down what you want to tell yourself in order to advance confidently towards the vision that you're going to be writing. What's one thing you want to tell yourself about that? So that's advancing confidently. And the last part of Thoreau's quote, and as you can see, I've taken some things out of order because I don't believe we actually talk this direction anymore. But he says, endeavors to live the life they're imagining. Now, endeavors means to do. It means not just to try, but it means to do. So if you're endeavoring to live the life that you've imagined in your vision, and you're working towards it, you're going to be taking action every day. Now, Boost Biz Ed is all about actionable energy in our business, right? So now I want you to just really think about, if I'm endeavoring to live that, what action steps would I be taking? Would I be working on it once a week? No. I would probably be working on that dream every single day. And if you're working on your health every day, why wouldn't you work on your business every day? If you're working on your relationships every day, why wouldn't you work on your business? So we want to make sure that we understand that this is something we have to endeavor or work on every single day. We need to take action. Now, here's where a lot of people get stuck. They think, I got to cross that boundary every day. And I gotta try really hard, and I'm really scared, and I'm gonna make these really big things that I gotta do. So don't make your action items really huge. There is absolutely no point to saying, I'm going to take on $15,000 worth of business this month when you can't believe that, right? If you can't own it, you're not gonna get yourself across the boundary. So what you wanna do is take this in bite-sized pieces. So what I want you to do is write 3 tiny baby step action items that you could do this week, right? Because what happens in our brain when we take on a really big goal and we don't break it down into bite-sized pieces, we can't chew it. We can't really get there because we don't have the capacity. And our limiting beliefs get bigger and the invisible boundary gets stronger when we write a huge goal but we don't break it down into little action steps. So when you're working with vision, you want to understand that when we break it down into tiny action steps, then I can begin to make progress towards getting across that boundary. It's kind of like putting your toes across a line, right? But you can inch forward. So write down 3 action steps, baby steps, towards your vision that you could do this week. And make them specific. And allow yourself to really break it down smaller than you ever have before. Good. I see everybody's doing it. I think that's awesome. All right. So I'm going to sum this up for you. So Thoreau's code, I'm going to just unpack it into my words, right? And the way I look at it is we need to get clear on the direction of our dream. We need to reframe it. That's how we get across the invisible boundary, is by noticing it, reframing it, and then owning it. That's how we advance confidently and endeavor to live is work on it. I call this my Grow Miracles formula, right? This is the formula that I use to water the plants of my vision, right? It's the Grow Miracles formula will get you across any invisible boundary and help you to create more miracles in your life and in your business. One of the things that people that come to me talk about coaching with me need first is they need a vision, right? You cannot do any of the rest of this until you get really clear on your vision, right? So I have created a program that I call the Power of Vision that allows entrepreneurs and business owners to get really clear on their vision. And I spend 4 weeks working with them to help them really change that idea of, I don't know where I'm going, or I'm going to tell you I'm going here, but I'm really vague about where here is, right? So the more clear we can get on it, the more powerful our vision will become. And the biggest part of what we spend some time on is reframing those paradigms. So paradigms work on us in several ways, right? So those invisible boundaries that I talked about, they're there all the time. And they work on you in the way of your thoughts. They also work on you in the way of your habits and your beliefs. And just leave you with one little thing here today, that you can begin to work with your invisible boundaries more if you understand how they're going to come and work on you. So even today, when you get done and you think about your vision, because you're going to take this worksheet home, and I hope that you're going to sit down and you're going to write a vision. And for those of you at home, remember you're writing a vision in the areas of health, relationships, career, and time and money freedom. And you're going to just make it clear where you're going. But the first thing that's going to happen is you're going to hit a new boundary. You're going to hit a new wall. And paradigms work on us in 3 ways. So there's the 3 Ds of how paradigms are going to try to stop you from doing this. And they're going to work at you right away. So I want you to notice them so that they're not invisible. The first D is they're going to try to distract you. Okay, so anybody in business ever felt distracted and they're like, oh, I'll do that email after this laundry, or I'll do laundry after the email. Sometimes it works on us the other way around, but they always first of all try to distract you. If they can't distract you, or even if they get you a little distracted, they're going to try to dissuade you. Now, dissuade is the opposite of persuade, right? They're going to tell you, you don't really want to do that. That vision you thought up, you don't really want to do that. That sounds like a lot of work. I'm going to try to distract you first, then I'm going to try to dissuade you to make sure that you don't actually go after that vision. Because that's hard work. I don't want you to do that. So try to dissuade you. The third thing it'll try to do is delay you. Oh, you can do that later. Set some time aside for it next Monday. You can do it then. And delay is probably one of the most powerful ones. That's what a lot of people will say to you when you ask them if they want to buy your product. I will, but in 6 months. Yeah, right? So it happens all the time. We always our limiting beliefs are always coming and working with us in this way. They're always trying to stop us from going across that boundary. And the more aware you become of them, the more that you're able to step across the boundary in a new, powerful way and create some miracles of your own in your business. So look at those 3 Ds of how paradigms work, and make sure that you put a pin in them so that they don't come back and bite you later on. Now you know, this is how my beliefs work to keep me from going across the boundary of my own success, because that's what's really important. Now, all of you that are here today, I have a special offer form that I'm going to hand out that is going to help you to decide if you would like to work through the power of vision with me. For those of you online, I'd like you to just write down this phone number right now. It is 760-579-3268, and that's my personal cell phone. And I have a gift for each of you, whether you're on Facebook Live with us or whether you're here in the audience. My gift is that I would love to spend 30 minutes on the phone with you, getting really clear on the direction of your dream, helping you formulate the basics of a vision for yourself. Now, we can't do it all in 30 minutes, but we can certainly get you started. And it would really be my honor to help you move in the direction of the dream that you would like to have and create some success that's unexpected in common hours. Now, there's another little part of that quote. And I actually kind of took it out of the quote because it's very confusing, but I put parentheses here where it says all sorts of things begin to occur that never ever would have occurred, right? Now, I call this the magic and miracles section, right? Because once you go across the invisible boundary of fear, all sorts of things begin to happen that you never would have expected. There will be synchronicities. When you start thinking in this way, things will happen. People will come to you and say, hey, I want to work with you, because all of a sudden you're thinking in a whole new way. You're transforming your life, and transformation shows. And other people are going to come to you to help you, to support you. And the universe does their part, and they send in the everyday miracles. So as you work through the code, you begin to grow a network of people. You begin to grow new relationships that are going to support your business, and you begin to create the miracles that you have wanted all along in your life. So I'm going to hand out that form to the people that are here. Yes, indeed. And the phone number, and that's for everybody that is here as well. If you'd rather just text me, that's great. It's 760-579-3268, and that's my personal cell. And I would love to hear from you. If you text me, please include your name. If you leave me a voicemail with your name, I will call you back within the day. We'll get something set up at a time that's convenient for both of us, and we can figure out if the power of vision would be a good fit for you. But in the meantime, we can get a vision written that will help you on your way to growing miracles in your life. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Susan. I have to admit, I used to live in the Midwest, And your story triggered a traumatic memory of me, my sister, my mother trapped in the car in a snowstorm. And we had to get a friend to come pick us up. So it was such a visceral story that you told. And thank you so much for sharing all your wisdom. And I would love it if the folks on Facebook, if you can post some comments for Susan, show her your love. And we're going to be, if we have time, we'll ask a couple of you to come up to share your action item that you're going to be undertaking after today. But first, I want to make sure that we acknowledge some of the allies again. So if you have those of you who are here in the studio, those of you who have the feedback form. Okay, so we're going to ask you to turn this in at the end of the presentation or the event. But you'll see that there's a list of allies for today. So you're going to see there's a presenter, which is Susan Duprat. If you're interested in getting in touch with her, of course, you can put a check mark next to her name and also fill out her form, and she'll reach out. Another person is Erica Spaces, at Spaces. If you're interested in reaching out to her about working here, she's actually over there by the reception, or she was over there, okay? And then the other thing is, I would love to hear from Cornelius. He's also an ally for today, the video expert pro for today. And I would love it if Cornelius, if we can hear how we can take action with you. Would you come on up? Okay. Please welcome Cornelius. Woo!
Good afternoon, everyone. Hey, my name is Cornelius Simon. Thank you, Joanne. Susan, great. I was catching bits and pieces here. The one thing that stood out to me was the invisible boundary. And Joanne said fear. There's some other ones for me here that I want to go back and write them down and keep them in view so I don't get caught off guard. So thank you for that piece there. Really perked my attention. So me, I'm back there. I'm with Live Streaming Video Pro. You can go out to my Facebook page, Live Streaming Video Pro, or my website, livestreamingvideopro.com. And, together with Sarah, who's our lead here for the Biz Ed San Diego, we put together the live streaming that you see on Facebook Live with the full-out commercials and whatnot. So if you're interested in having your event live streamed, definitely reach out to me here on Facebook, or just reach out to me through my website, Cornelius at livestreamingvideopro.com. Love to share with you more on what we can do to help increase your brand and get more customers in your business.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much, Cornelius. And also, I would like to mention another ally of ours, which is Sarah Ann Dordell. Hi, Sarah. Hello again. So Sarah, again, is the founder of the Conscious Business Chamber of Commerce. And we're all about doing great things, being good people, doing great things, and collaborating. So if you're interested in finding out more about this chamber, please go to our website, which is very easy to remember, right? What is it? Biz Ed. Actually, it's the consciousbusinesschamberofcommerce.com. Okay, so it's very easy to remember. And also Drew Shockley, again, he's the founder of Biz Ed. And if you're interested in finding out how you can be a part of these event series, if you want to be a speaker, he's a great person to reach out. And he also has a call to action alliance that's supposed to help you boost your online presence. Okay, and I actually have his email address here if you're interested in reaching out. If you want to book an appointment with him, it is CT as in Tom, A as in Apple, CTAalliance.com /book Drew, DRU. CTAalliance.com /book Drew. Okay? And finally, I am an ally. So besides doing this gig, being MC for you all today, my other gig is being a transformation and self-leadership coach. What I do is help people work with their fears, limiting beliefs, and whatever that's holding them back from achieving their dreams. I know that a lot of these fears, they're all grounded in our bodies, and the fears could come from childhood experiences or work experiences, that it's very difficult to just release the fears by thinking sometimes. So what I do is I work with the body, also work with emotions. I'm also very big on spirituality, intuition, and helping people release or unleash their creativity so that they can express their soul purpose fully in business and in life. So if you're interested in learn more about what I do, I would love to just have a conversation with you and just learn about what your vision is and how I can help you. Okay, so I'm here after the event, and also if you want to tag me on the Facebook Live, I will check your message out. Okay? And finally, let's look at the time. So I would like to invite a couple of you to be brave again and share your name, what you do, your company name, and then what's that one action item that you're going to take after Susan's presentation today. Don't everyone go at once. All right. We have somebody. Yay! All right. When you commit, it will happen.
I'll just kind of figure it out on the fly. Maria Hathor here again with Color Street. I think when you were talking about relationships and figuring out what you want those relationships to look like, I have a pretty good sized team, and because we're so large now, I'm losing some of the relationships. So I think I need to really think about what I want those relationships to look like. So my action item really is to meet with them personally. A lot of them don't live here, so it's through Zoom calls, conference calls, that kind of thing. But connect with them individually versus just in our group chats and our page, so that I can kind of figure out what I want that relationship to look like with each one of them. Because I know as the relationship is stronger, I know we're all just going to keep moving forward. So that's it.
Thank you so much. Do we have another volunteer? Okay. Susan, you have an action item? Okay. She has an action item, everybody. All right.
Yes, we all should have action items. As you know, I'm Susan Duprat of Everyday Miracles, and my action item from today is to really connect with Biz Ed some more and really make sure that I understand all of the benefits of being a part of this business Biz Ed thing that we're in today. Because truly, I didn't know about the Call to Action Alliance until today, so I want to make sure I connect with that. I want to make sure that I've written that down and really taking more action to spread our community and really get more involved in what we're doing here today. So that's my action item. Thank you.
Thank you, Susan. And I will play too. I've been wanting to reach out to an organization in town, but I haven't, to just get to know them and help them get to know me and what I have to offer. So I am committed, scary, to complete this item before the end of next week. Time bound. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for being brave. And, upcoming events. So, Boost Biz at San Diego, we happen monthly. So, our very next event is going to be on June 21st. Same time, same bat channel, same bat time. And the topic is going to be expert positioning to grow your business. And our speaker, another expert speaker, her name is Debbie Allen of Debbie Allen International. So Cornelius, I believe we have a message from Debbie.
Hi, I'm Debbie Allen, also known as the Expert of Experts, and I look forward to seeing you soon at your event and meeting you in person. I'm excited to share my message with you because I've been a marketing expert for over 20 years, but what makes me unique is teaching you exactly how to position yourself as an expert to get the top 20% of clients in your niche industry. Wouldn't it be great to have clients, the top 20% of clients that get your value, understand your services, and pay you well for what you do? So if you're ready to start making more money, making your life easier, then you certainly want to be there to hear me speak. And I'm excited to be there soon and to meet you. So look forward to seeing you there.
Welcome back. This is Joanne Chen, MC for Biz Ed San Diego today. I would like to conclude this meeting by asking if there's anybody here who has an event coming up that you would like to let us know. Susan.
I guess it's me.
It's you again.
Hi, Susan Duprat. I'm also the leader of the Carlsbad Speakers Club. And Speakers Club is a safe place for business owners and entrepreneurs to come out and practice any talk that they might want to give. We sign people up for 3-minute or 5-minute spots before the event, and anybody who comes can also network and also give a 1-minute talk about their business as well. It's incredibly fun to listen to each other and to share and give positive feedback to each other about the talks. It helps you to hone in on what you want to say when you try to get down to 3 minutes. Now, 45 minutes is way less scary, actually, than trying to get your message in 3. So I would encourage you guys, even those of you that are watching us on Facebook, to go to my page on Facebook, which is Carlsbad Speakers Club, and check that out. And also come to the next event. If you're local here to San Diego, the Carlsbad Speakers Club meets the second Wednesday of every month from 6:30 in the evening till 9. And we really do support each other. And anybody that's a business owner or entrepreneur or trying to lead a team needs to practice their public speaking. And we make it safe for you to do that. There's no pressure. It's very, very positive, and we're going to encourage you and help you learn how to do that better. So, Carlsbad Speakers Club, second Wednesday of every month.
Thank you, Susan. Okay. So, I'm going to issue a challenge that all of you can achieve today. And that is to get out your phone, or maybe you're on your computer, and get out your calendar and assign a time to take that action that you're committed to achieving. Yes? Okay, I see people are pulling out their phones right now. They're very diligent. You know, Susan, your presentation did have a huge effect on us. Thank you. Okay, so make sure you get that done. And before you leave today, please complete and turn in your action forms. We will love your feedback. And we really want you to, if you enjoy what you heard today, what you experienced today, please come back next month, and the month after that, and the month after that, and bring a friend, someone you think would be a great fit for this event. We would love to get to know them and help us spread the word, online and offline. And we'll see you next time. One action higher.